Hi, if you're in the market for a new hob and you're not really sure what fuel to go for, whether it's gas, electric or induction, then in this video what I'm going to do is to go through some of the advantages and disadvantages of each fuel. Before I start, I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel, just give us a quick thumbs up. So I'll talk about gas first, as I've got a couple of gas hobs around me here. Now I suppose several advantages of gas. First of all, it's instant heat, so you don't have to wait for it to heat up like other fuels. Next thing, it can be quite cost effective to use, especially if you're on a good tariff with your gas supply, then it can be quite cheap compared to other fuels. Another advantage of gas is you're not limited to the pans that you use, so it doesn't matter how old your pans are, then they should still work on any gas hob. Now to cover some of the disadvantages of a gas hob. Now as you can see here, because you've got the separate dials on the side, also you've got the pan supports in the middle, when it comes to cleaning, it's not as easy as some other fuels. Now if you're going to buy a gas hob, I'd always recommend to get one with a gas safety turn off. And basically that means if you had some water in a pan that had boiled over, and if the flame had gone out, then there is a good chance that the supply of gas will still be coming through. Now if the gas is still coming out, then that's quite a big safety issue, and that's why I'd always recommend getting one with a gas safety turn off, which a lot of hobs have got now. And then one of the final disadvantages of a gas hob is they can be quite expensive to get installed if you're paying a professional to do it, which is always recommended when it comes to a gas supply. Also, when it comes to repairs of a gas hob, then they can be quite expensive as well, because there don't tend to be many repairers around now that want to repair gas appliances. Now we'll cover standard electric hobs. Now one of the main advantages is they can be very easy to keep clean, especially if it's like this where it's all touch control. Really depends on the type of electric hob that you go for, because some of the cheaper models still have dials down the side or at the front here, but I always recommend going for one like this where it's completely flat, because it just makes life so much easier when it comes to cleaning. All it's recommended is just to make sure that when you finish cooking and everything is cooled down, just get a damp cloth and give it a quick wipe over. Another advantage of electric is that you can use any pans on there, so similar to gas, you're not limited to the type of pans that you use. A really good safety feature on some electric hobs are lockable controls, and that can be a huge advantage, especially if you've got young children in the house, because what you don't want is to have something cooking away and then little fingers come along and start to mess about with the controls. Now onto the disadvantages of an electric hob. First of all, they can be quite expensive to run. Depending on the tariff that you're on with your electricity supplier, sometimes they can be quite expensive compared to other fuels on the market. Also with electric ceramic hobs, they can be slow to heat up as well, which can be really frustrating. So if you want a hob that's going to heat up quickly, then perhaps a ceramic hob isn't really the way to go. Now we'll move on to induction hobs, and a lot of the advantages of the electric ceramic hobs that I've covered are replicated in the induction hobs. So when it comes to things like keeping it clean, that's nice and easy, especially when you go for one like this, where it's got a nice flat surface. But the main advantage is that it's very energy efficient, especially compared to a ceramic hob, and what it will do is it will just heat up the area that's required. So if you have, say, a large area that could be heated up, if you put a small pan on like that, and if the ring extended out here, then all that it will do is it will just heat up that area required that covers the surface of the pan. Also, some induction hobs offer a large surface that can be heated up, and that basically means either one big area or say two individual strips on the hob, and what you can do is you can put different pans on different places, or even if you had say a large, say a flat tray, that as long as it's suitable to go onto an induction hob, then you could heat that up as well. Another huge advantage of induction is it can be very quick to heat up, especially if you're comparing it to a ceramic hob. Some models in the market will have a boost button, so if you really need to get a pan heated up quickly, then that could be a real advantage too. Now some induction hobs on the market have the option to communicate with a hood. That can be a real advantage, because if you've got something cooking away on your hob, and if it detects that there's either too much moisture or even worse, any smoke, then what it can do is to increase the speed of the fan within the hood. Some induction hobs, where they've got a 13 amp connection or just a plug, are very cheap and easy to install as well, because in theory you should be able to do it yourself, as long as you're confident doing that kind of thing. All of these advantages of owning an induction hob don't come with any disadvantages. I suppose one of the main disadvantages of an induction hob, they can be more expensive to buy, especially if comparing it to an electric ceramic hob. But we are finding over the last couple of years the price gap between ceramic and induction hobs has come down quite a lot, and that's really why we sell so many induction hobs now. Another big disadvantage of an induction hob is that you need certain type of pans to go on there. Now really the way to check is get a magnet, pop it onto the bottom of your pan. If it sticks, then it'll work. If it doesn't, then it won't. So if you have got other old pans, things like glass pans, then it won't work on an induction hob. Hope you enjoyed this quick video on some of the advantages and disadvantages of gas, ceramic and induction hobs. I would appreciate it if you subscribe to my YouTube channel. Just give us a quick thumbs up, click subscribe, leave any comments below. I always ask for comments whether it's good or bad about the video. I know there will be many other advantages and disadvantages on all three types of fuel. If you've got something that you can add to this, then let me know in the comments. Also, what type of fuel do you go for? What do you cook with? And are you happy with it? Or would you consider changing it after knowing some of this information? Thanks for joining me today.